this Kansas State team. They are -1.5. The over-under is 53. What's your breakdown on Kansas State and Arizona?
Yeah, if they're breaking your heart, just imagine how Kelly feels. I mean,
Yes.
I had to talk her off the bridge the other night. Anyway, Kansas State, according to Odds Logic, they opened as a pick'em, and then Arizona went to a 1-point favorite, and now Kansas State is a 1.5-point favorite. So movement going both ways, and a little bit of sharp money on each side. Look, this is a Kansas State team that you can make an argument they're the most disappointing team in the country thus far, even though we're only in the, mid-September. They lost their season opener 24-21 against Iowa State in a game that was played in Dublin. And you can make an excuse there because Iowa State's a nationally ranked team. But they went from being this Big 12 preseason favorite to, I don't know, are they even going to make a bowl game this year? I mean, then they face North Dakota in week 2, and they need a touchdown with less than a minute to go to beat North Dakota 38-35 and avoid an upset against an FCS team. Then last week, I thought, well, maybe they'll wake up against Army. But you know what? I don't trust them, and I'm glad I stayed away from the game because as a 17-point home favorite, they lost outright, 24-21 to an Army team. That, by the way, Andy, they lost to Tarleton State the week before in their home opener. What's going on in Manhattan? Anyway, they were held at 246 yards of total offense last week. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about time of possession, Army dominates time of possession against mostly everybody. But, this is an Army team that was, and I don't mean to go on and on about Army, but, they lost a lot from last year. Arizona, on the other hand, after going 4-8 last year, they opened the season with 2 wins in convincing manner. They beat Hawaii 40-6 and Weber State 48-3. All right, okay, the level of competition wasn't there, but by the same token, they dominated both games. And this is a team that's going to be seeking their first 3-0 start since 2015. And Rich Rodriguez was the head coach. That's how far it goes back. So they're going to be plenty motivated, especially when you add in the factor they're going to be out for revenge from a 31-7 road loss at Kansas State last year. And it's true revenge, okay, because you got 17 returning starters, and they're number 15 nationally, by the way, in returning production. Arizona, by the way, in the first 2 games, not only dominating both of those lesser than quality opponents, but they were +7 turnover differential in their first 2 games and only allowed 3.7 yards per play. I got a college Ralph inspired me, Andy. So I had to look up a college football angle on this game real quickly while I was off air. Do you want me to share it with the folks?
Ross, please share this with the folks.
I'm glad you asked, Andy, because I would have felt bad if I shared it without your permission. Anyway, college football home teams with a point spread of between +3 and -3, like Arizona, playing in game 3 of the season, and they started the season 2-0, and they scored 40 points or more in each of those 2 wins, and they have won 24 or fewer of their last 28 at home. Why I mention that is because it tells me I'm backing a team that doesn't have a dominant home field, and it's almost a pick'em game. And those teams in that situation, 14-0 straight up since 1998. I say straight up because, look, they're the underdog in the game. If you win the game straight up, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, if you win straight up and you're backing the underdog, you're a winner, right? So, brilliant deduction by me as always. Arizona +1.5 against Kansas State. Major League Baseball continues to be number 1, Andy. At wagertalk.com, and it's been that way for over 2 months now. And great special, folks. $209 will take you right through the World Series of Major League Baseball right now. So take advantage of that offer. And still 6-5 to start college football this year. Not real great, but still up 4 units. And still number 1 in units earned in college football since the start of the 2023 college football season. So a lot of consistency there in terms of winning in college football. I did hit my 2 5% best bets the first 2 weeks. LSU as an underdog outright over Clemson. Also last week, Oklahoma -5 over the Michigan Wolverines. So stay tuned because I'm going to have another 5% best bet on Saturday in college football as well. So take advantage of that. And by the way, since May 13th, all sports premium picks up 96 units. Not bad, Andy.